Hello friends, and happy 2024. If you're new here, my name is Illy, and today we're gonna be ranking every single cozy game that I played in 2023. I played over 30 games last year, which is wild. A lot of the games that I played in 2023 are games that came out in 2023. There are other games that did not come out last year. So I'm a big believer that any game can be cozy. So you might find a few games on my list that you might think are a little bit unusual, but all the games on this list are games that I think are cozy. It's totally cool if you don't. I'm gonna try to keep this as spoiler free as possible. I feel like I might have a couple hot takes here, so please be kind to me. There are over 30 games that I'm going to be ranking today. I'm gonna try to rapid fire as much as possible, but we might be here for a little bit, so maybe grab yourself a cup of tea, make yourself comfy, and let's get started. First of all, let me tell you what the tiers are. The first tier is simply the best. As the great philosopher Tina Turner once said, "You're simply the best." These are gonna be the games that I would consider my best games of 2023. Pretty self-explanatory. In the next tier, we have She Did That.
10 out of 10. Yup. She ate that up.
These are the games that I consider very close to the top of my list, but that not quite make it to my best of the year. Next is the middle tier, and that is It Feels Like a Game.
My favorite thing about the movie is it feels like a movie.
These are the games that I had fun playing, that I think are good, but for one reason or another, I think are just kinda mid. The next tier is Hi Barbie.
Hi Barbie. Hi Barbie. Hi Barbie.
Still fun, but games that feel more the same, cozy games that we've been getting for a long time, or games that simply did not stood out to me. Last but not least, we have I Don't Know This Man.
I don't know who this man is. Sorry to this man.
This is the tier where I would say this game is probably not worth purchasing. I would not recommend this game. There aren't many games that make it to this tier, I would think, but I know of one, and it might be a controversial opinion. All right, now you know all the rankings. Let's start with a banger. Probably one of the most anticipated games for cozy gamers and gamers as a whole in 2023, and that is Tears of the Kingdom. This is the sequel to Zelda Breath of the Wild. I think I would put this one in simply the best. There's just no other place that I could put this game, I feel. I feel like they did such a good job in carrying on some of the mechanics that we already knew and loved from Breath of the Wild, but improved on them. This game has so much gameplay. You can sink in hundreds of hours, still only make a dent in the story of it. It is so beautiful to look at, so cozy. I love that it has so many open spaces, so much to explore. Tears of the Kingdom is simply the best. Next is going to be Mail Time. This is a cozy cottagecore mail delivery simulator. This game is so adorable. Might have gotten a little bit of criticism when it came out because the game had a lot more platforming mechanics than people were expecting, and also just a lot of dialogue. I personally had so much fun playing this game. My favorite part was how cute the environments were. They did a really good job in incorporating a lot of things that us cozy gamers are really into. I also loved that there were so many queer characters in this game, and the character customization, you can choose they them pronouns if you want to. It was developed by a small group of developers, which I think deserves a lot of merit. I would definitely recommend this game. I will say that by the end of it, I did find it a little bit repetitive, and I did start skipping some of the dialogue, because even though the characters were so cute and I loved getting to know them, there was a lot of dialogue. And I personally am not the type of person who loves a lot of dialogue in a game. I just get tired of it. So I think I'm gonna have to put Mail Time in It Feels Like a Game. I know, I'm sorry. I think in comparison to all of the other bangers that we had this year, I just have to put it in It Feels Like a Game. Next game is going to be Tchia. I had the best time playing this game. I don't think we've ever had a cozy game like Tchia. I think Tchia really took leaps on making a game that it was cozy while also being a complete adventure game. I thought the environments in this game were just amazing. I loved every single one of the characters. It felt like you were playing through a Pixar film or something. This game is also queer, which, as you guys know, is a big plus for me. Oh my god, this is hard. I don't know if I should put it in She Did That or simply the best. Oh my god. I will say I found some of the mechanics in this game to be a little bit hard to wrap my head around, and for that reason only, I'm gonna put it in She Did That. Alright, we're doing good. We've ranked 3 games and we've put them in different tiers. I am proud of myself. Generally, I really love these 3 games, so the fact that I was able to put them in different tiers, I'm very proud of myself for that. Next is a game that I feel like might have been a little bit underrated this year, and that is Good Pizza, Great Pizza. This is a cozy restaurant management game where you run your own little pizza restaurant. It felt like it had a lot of heart, like they really built the environment. It felt so silly and so fun and unique for a cooking simulator. I had so much fun playing this game. It's one of those games that I can just sink hours into. I will put this game in She Did That. Next game I'm going to rank is a bit of a controversial one, and that is Fae Farm. This is a cozy adventure farming sim where you play as a fae. There's been a lot of different opinions about this game in the cozy community because the price point was so high for this game. I think this game has its strength. I've been playing this game in my computer and it's giving me very minimal bugs. I really love the mechanics. I felt like they were so comfy for a farming sim. Such an open world game. One of the stronger suits of this game is the fact that you can play with friends and go adventuring with them. That was personally my favorite part of the game. However, because the price point was so high and it still had so many bugs regardless, I will put this game in It Feels Like a Game, because even though I had a lot of fun playing it and I love playing with friends, I just cannot in good conscience put it higher than that. And especially in 2023, because Palia was released in 2023. That definitely influences my opinion on Fae Farm. Palia is the first ever free cozy MMO. For those who don't know, an MMO is a massive multiplayer online game. When I first downloaded this game, I downloaded it in my computer and it was very heavy, so much so that I could barely play it. But it recently came out for the Switch and I've been loving it. Especially being able to go hang out in a cozy MMO with friends is truly such a wonderful experience and such a big change in the MMO gaming industry. I feel it's really great to see how the cozy gamers have been affecting the gaming industry, and the fact that we got this game last year is just wonderful. Cozy, multiplayer, very cute. I'm gonna say, you know what? She did that. The next game that I played that came out in 2023 was Venba. This was one of my most highly anticipated games on 2023, and it did not disappoint at all. I have a full gameplay of this game on my channel if you guys want to see it. I did leave a lot of the story out of that gameplay so that you guys still have a lot of story to discover if you guys choose to go and purchase this game. I personally feel like it is really worth it. This is a story-based slash cooking simulator where you follow the story of an immigrant Indian family moving to Canada in the 80s. This game, oh my god, it was so beautiful. I cried so many times playing this game. But not just that, the cooking mechanics were so fun and they had a puzzle element to them as well, which I felt was very cool to be able to figure out the recipes as you were making them. The animations were stunning. I genuinely was craving every single one of the dishes as I was making them. I feel like this game was severely underrated in 2023. She's simply the best. Better than anyone. I really hope we see more story-based games like this in 2024. Next is another game that I felt like was criminally underrated in 2023, and that is Season: A Letter to the Future. I had played this game right as it came out and it was so beautiful. In this game, there's a cataclysmic event happening in the world and you set off to collect information to put in your journal to leave to whoever is coming next. This game was simply one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. It is such an original take on a cozy game. Your exploration is so rewarded. The soundscape of this game is absolutely gorgeous. The music is incredible. I also have heard from people in the community that they felt so excited when they saw this game coming out because they felt so represented by how the main character looks. I feel like we need more games like this. My only complaint about this game is that it should have been longer. I just wanted to stay in this world a little bit more. I just wanted more. Because of this, I feel like she did that. The next game that I'm going to rank is a game called Blue Wednesday. This was another of my most anticipated games of 2023, and it's a game about a pianist who has lost his passion a little bit, and you follow his story as he finds that passion again. I love when story-based games really take freedoms in expressing feelings and emotions in a way that is very unusual but creative, and I feel like this game, Blue Wednesday, really does that really well. It has so much commentary on following your dreams in late capitalism. It was so endearing and fun, and it has so many cool mini games. I'm a big fan of story-based games that really lean into the mini game aspect of these styles of games and that use those mini games to propel the story further or make you feel a certain way about what's going on with the character. This game has a lot of music mechanics, which I'm also a really big fan of. It's so beautiful. And I think for that reason, ooh, this is hard. This is can I put them in the middle? I think I'm gonna have to put this game in Simply the Best. I recommend it very much. Another game that was definitely an unexpected favorite for me this year is Station is Station. This is a cozy puzzle game where you're building trains. I have some gameplay up in my channel if you're interested in watching that. She's simply the best. I don't even have to think about it for two seconds. This is one of those games that just itches my brain just right. It is so beautifully designed. The tutorial is so smooth and fun. I just love this game so much. This is the game that I would play when like I need a game that is soft on my brain, that is engaging but also feels restful. This just be cozy to me, to be honest. Another brainless game that I have on here is the Suika Game. This is a puzzle game where you're basically dropping fruit and trying to combine them to get to the largest fruit. This game blew up. I've played both the Switch version and the free online version, and I love them both so much. This game carried me through the holiday season. It's one of those games that you can just sit and play for hours. It's so brainless and so fun. I honestly really recommend it. I know it's a silly game, but I think it's worth the hype. So this game honestly makes it to simply the best games of this year. This game took over my mind in ways that I'm ashamed to admit. If you play this game and you've gotten to watermelon, you know the thrill. You know how that feels. Anyway, speaking of the holiday season, another game that I played this year was the Lake DLC Season Greetings. I really enjoyed playing this game. This is one of those games that have become kind of nostalgic for me because I'm such a big fan of the main game, Lake. This was such a fun, cozy game to play, especially on stream with people. This is a prequel to the former game Lake. It is very Hallmark movie flavored, so if you're not into that, you might not like this game. Me and everybody on my Twitch slowly fell in love with Thomas. I don't know how to explain it. If you know, you know. What? Kinda. However, I have to be very strict. So I think in comparison to all the other games, do I feel like you need to play this game? I've played Lake over and over. I don't know that I would go back and play Season Greetings again. So I think I'm gonna have to put this game in It Feels Like a Game. Next I have two other games, Pikmin 3 Deluxe and Pikmin 4. I'm grouping them together because I played one right after the other. I feel like I can't talk about one without the other. If you guys know me, Pikmin and I am Pikmin. Listen, I love Zelda, arguably best games ever made, right? Mario, arguably best games ever made. Nobody hates Mario, but for me, Pikmin, I cannot tell you what those little guys do to me. You know how I feel about little guys. There are so many factors as to why I love these games. They are extremely nostalgic for me. These were my favorite games when I was a kid also, when I was playing in the GameCube, which is also my favorite console of all time. So both of these games are going to simply the best of this year. Simply cannot describe how much I love these games, but I will try. I will always try. Another game that came out this year is a game called Homestead Arcana. You play as a little witch who is sent on a mission. I really loved playing this game. I am a big fan of games that incorporate farming and witchy stuff. I just appreciate it so much. You have the cutest cat sidekick, and this game reminds me of Keiko's Delivery Service. I also played it around the time I was also playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, and I preferred it. More on that later. I'm gonna put it in High Barbie for now. Because there are other witchy farming sims out there, I would say this one might not stand out as much for me and for other people. Before I get into my ranking of Disney Dreamlight Valley, I'm gonna talk about the scary flavored cozy games that I played this year. First one is Dredge. This game is going straight into simply the best. This game is just so perfect in the way that it balances the more spookier subjects with the more cozier gaming mechanics. In this game, you play as a fisherman in a mysterious town who is tasked with providing the town with fish while also discovering what is going on in these waters. I was obsessed with this game when it came out. I mean, this is obviously a fishing game, so you would expect the fishing mechanics to be good, but we've been treated so badly with fishing mechanics for so long that I think it's really worth pointing out that the fishing mechanics in this game are so good. Probably best fishing mechanics I've ever seen in a game ever. It is a little spooky at times, but not enough for it to be a complete horror game. No notes. Another spooky game that came out this year is Bramble. It came out earlier this year. I played it on Twitch for spooky season. This game is definitely more on the horror side. There are a lot of things in this game that I did not expect. There are a lot of trigger warnings for this game. It was kind of buggy for a game that just came out in 2023. It made me feel like maybe it was an older game while I was playing it, and then I was kind of surprised that it came out in 2023. However, I thought this game was really fun. It had a lot of really magical, beautiful moments that I really enjoyed, and it was really well balanced with the more like darker, spookier parts. I personally expected this game to be a little bit more whimsical than it was. It felt definitely a lot more bleak than I expected. I'm very torn between She Did That and It Feels Like a Game because I really had a great time playing this game, but it didn't make so much of an impression on me that I would like go back and play it a million times or whatever. Incorporates a lot of like Scandinavian folklore into the storytelling. I kind of wish that the folk tales were incorporated together a bit better because the story of it felt a bit like fragmented. So I think for that reason, I'm gonna put it in It Feels Like a Game. Another spooky flavor cozy game that I played this year is a game that honestly I think is a complete hidden gem, and that is Birth. This is a cozy puzzle game where you are trying to collect body parts to create a companion. It is such a hidden gem. It is such a weird premise for a game. I think this game was made by one person. You can play this game in one sitting. I had the best time playing it. It is very Frankenstein-y flavored, but not a horror game at all. I think this game might be simply the best for me. I don't think anybody's talking about that game, and it's such a good game. Normalize talking about Birth. What? That was a weird sentence. Another game that might not even be a cozy game, but I played it this year and I really love it, so I'm gonna be ranking it. I think it's cozy. I don't particularly get scared playing this game, but it is a scary game, and that is Lethal Company. This is a game that you can play with other people. It is so funny. Land in a planet and you need to collect items to bring to your spaceship because you have a range of money that you need to collect for your boss. What is this game about? This game is guaranteed to be a fun time to play with friends, and I've had a great time playing it this year, so I'm gonna put it in She Did That, because honestly, she did it. Another co-op game that I played this year that I feel like more people should be talking about is a game called Bokura. This game is straight to simply the best. One of the best co-op games I have ever played. You play as two friends who get lost in the mountains. Both of the players in the game are experiencing the game slightly differently. Both of you guys have different powers, and both of you guys are experiencing the platforming of the game differently, so what one person can see, the other one can't. So it's a really good game about learning how to communicate with the person that you're playing with in order to get through the game. There's also a lot of story elements where one person gets one side of the story and the other person gets another side of the story. And without knowing what the other person knows, you have to come together at the end to make a decision. I really, truly wish that there were more co-op games like this. Another co-op game that came out this year was Jackbox 5. These are the games that we play a lot in our community games in our Discord server, and we always have the best time. The fifth one I felt like was a really nice addition to the franchise. They have a lot of really fun ones, and they also expanded on one of our favorite games in the community, TKO. I think this game is going to be She Did That for me. And the last game that I played that came out in 2023 is Disney Dreamlight Valley. I don't know this man. Honestly, I could see him walking down the street. I wouldn't know who he is. I played this game this year because I saw that a lot of people in the cozy community were singing its praises. I had a lot of friends recommend this game to me and ask me to play it on stream, so I decided to give it a try. To be completely fair, there's a lot of strong suits to this game. What I really, really loved about this game is that it really invited so many new people back into gaming. It invited so many new people into the cozy community, which I love. It was one of those games that everybody in the cozy community was talking about and playing, which was really fun to have. However, I was planning on playing this game when it came out for free. Surprise, surprise, it didn't. This game is not free to play, and it also has microtransactions in it. It comes to a point where it becomes very grindy, and even if you grind a lot in this game, you're still not able to make as much as you need to actually progress in the game, which I think is just a bummer, and it pushes you to spend money when you already spent money on the game. There are so many good farming sims out there that we can play. I cannot in good conscience support or recommend this game anymore. I was really looking forward to it becoming free and for more people to be able to access this game, but it's a bummer. It's a bummer. It feels like they're trying to fix it, but in other ways they keep making it worse. I don't know. I don't know this man.
Sorry to this man.
And now I'm gonna move on to all the games that I played in 2023 that did not come out in 2023. The first game is going to be Frog Detective. This is such a silly little game. I played the first one, which is called The Haunted Island, I believe. You play as a frog detective trying to solve a mystery of a ghost in this island. This game was incredibly charming and fun. I think they're meant for kids, but I had a great time playing them. I played this game on stream, which made it even funnier. Who's this? Red Shape. The dialogue in this game is just so silly and fun, and it's one of those games that really doesn't take itself too seriously. Honestly, She Did That. I'm gonna try to rapid fire a little more because there's still 10 games to get through. Another co-op game that I played this year is Shift Happens. In this game, you play as two little blobs and you have the power of switching matter between you two to become heavier. It is a platforming puzzle game. Some of the puzzles were actually quite hard. There's really not that much I can say about it other than She Did That. Next on my list is the one and only Night in the Woods. This is a cozy gaming classic. In this game, you play as Mae Borowski, who has dropped out of college and finds herself back in her childhood home. You get to reconnect with old friends. There is a mystery that you have to uncover in the town. This game is a classic cozy gaming game for a reason. So I'm gonna put it in She Did That. Another game that I played a lot of this year was Spiritfarer. This is a cozy managing game where you are taking care of a boat that is leading spirits into the afterlife, and you have to fulfill their last wishes before saying goodbye to them. This game is simply the best. I've never seen a game that does a character study in such a beautiful way. It was very interesting to deal with so many different characters, what their motivations were based on their personality, and what their last wishes would be based on their life experiences. It was genuinely such an emotional, beautiful game. The music in this game is wonderful. I cannot listen to it without being just completely transported to the time of the year where I was playing this game. It is just such a beautiful game, and I always recommend it to anybody. The only thing about this game that I found is that, oh my god, there is so much to do in this game. I would recommend you have a notebook next to you to write down where all the things were. That's what I had to do. There were so many things to get and do in so many places in this game. Oh my god. Next, I have the Silly Goose Game. In this game, you play as a goose that is causing chaos, basically. That's the whole thing of the game. I love this game so freaking much. There was a lot more to it than I thought there would be. I thought it would be just like a sandbox chaos game, but there's actually like tasks and achievements in this game. I really enjoyed trying to figure out the puzzles, and I also thought the animation of the game was so beautiful. I think she did that. I think she really did. Another big standout of this year for me was playing Inside. Oh my god. This is another horror / cozy flavored game. I feel like this game never crosses the line all the way to horror, which I really appreciated. It felt just like a very dark puzzle game. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you play this game, the ending... Wow. I would put this game in She Did That because I feel that the simply the best. It's getting quite crowded up there, so I'm getting a little worried. Next game I played in 2023 was Wild at Heart. In this game, you play as two kids who escape their homes and they discover a whole world of magic. This game is cozy, is beautiful. I've said this before, but it felt to me like a mixture of Stranger Things and Pikmin, which are two of my favorite things. I think I have to put this game on She Did That. Then we have Snipperclips. This is a really fun puzzle co-op game on the Switch. You're in this paper world and you're supposed to cut each other into shapes to fit the puzzles. It's really fun. But I will say, I'm gonna put this one in It Feels Like a Game because even though it's really cute, there are a lot better co-op games out there, I feel. Then we have A Little to the Left, which is the game that I started playing at the end of the year on stream and I'm still playing it. I've been wanting to play this game for the longest time, and when I tell you, this game does not disappoint. I find this game so satisfying. This is a puzzle game where you are basically organizing different areas of your house. Some of the puzzles have more than one way to solve them, which I think is a very fun way to keep you thinking outside the box a little bit. As someone who finds cleaning and organizing soothing in their regular life, this game just itches my brain the right way. Ooh. It's getting quite crowded in here. This game might be simply the best for me. Another game that I played this year was Roki. This is another stunning adventure cozy game where you play as Tove and you're trying to find your brother in the woods. I will say this is one of those games that has very little tutorial, so you have to kind of figure it out by yourself, and I found that a little frustrating. I found that it wasn't necessarily super intuitive, so you would expect there to be a little more tutorial to it. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it in It Feels Like a Game. But only for that reason, because it is honestly a great game. And I'm trying to be strict because there's a lot of them on the top. Then we have Bugsnax. This game for me is She Did That. Because honestly, what a weird game. In this game, you get to catch mysterious creatures that are a mix between bugs and food. I loved being able to see how they designed the characters based on the food and the animal. You're also trying to discover the disappearance of one of the people from the town, Elizabeth Megafig. There's a lot of queer characters in it as well, which I really appreciate. Like I always say, she did that. She just did that. I also played Unravel 2 this year. This is another standout for me for co-op games. You play as these two yarn guys. You keep uncovering new tools and solve the puzzles together, while at the same time you're discovering this whole story of these two human people. Very interesting storytelling. When I was playing this game, I was laughing my butt off. It was so fun to try to solve all the puzzles and get through the levels. I found that they were difficult enough to make you stop and think, but not so much that it would become frustrated. She really did that. We're getting close. The next one is Wandersong. I started playing this game at the end of last year and I have been genuinely enjoying it so much. This is another game that I feel has been wildly underrated. I don't know why there aren't more people talking about this game. This is a puzzle adventure game. It's music themed and it follows the bard as they go on a quest to gather pieces of a song that will save their world from destruction. I still have to finish it, but this game is already simply the best for me. This is one of those games that is overflowing with so much heart. You can tell that the people that made this game really had the best time coming up with the story and the music. The message of the game feels very hopeful. More people should be talking about this game, honestly. And last but not least, the last game that I started playing, very different opinions about this game, and that is Bear and Breakfast. For me, this game did that. Let's make some space, guys. In this game, you play as a bear who is running a bed and breakfast. In my opinion, this game got a lot of unwarranted criticism because there was so much hype around it before it came out that when it actually did, people were inevitably disappointed by it. The way that I describe it, I feel like people were expecting the Sleepy Time Tea Bear and they got the We Bear Bears. I love this game because it feels so cartoony to me. It feels like watching a nostalgic cartoon for me. And I even did a poll on my Instagram and most people agreed that this game was underrated, which I think is really interesting that after the hype has died down a little bit, people have come back to it and realized that maybe it wasn't as bad as we thought. And I do encourage you, if you didn't play this game because of the criticism that it got when it came out, I would definitely recommend giving it another try. Just to see how you like it. Woo! Hey, we did it. I've been filming for an embarrassing amount of time. Those are my rankings of all the games that I played in 2023. Please let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of my rankings. I also would love to know what your favorite games of 2023 were. I am so excited for all the amazing games that are coming out in 2024. If you made it this far, wow. Comment below a little bear emoji or something to let me know that you watched this far. It'll be our secret code. Please remember to take care of yourself, have some rest, have some water, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. My brain stopped for a second.